While others were still struggling to find food, Lao Wang had already built a grand ceremonial hall in the wilderness. Equipped with a water recycling system and a warm, atmospheric fireplace, his life was almost unbearably comfortable. Lao Wang had left home in frustration, fed up with his wife dancing in the square with other old men every day. With no money and no power, he turned to the one thing he knew best, carpentry. With his level 10 carpentry skills, he ventured into the wild with his loyal dog, determined to build a shelter from scratch. He first crafted a rough outline using wooden sticks and then wielded a digging hammer to carve out the foundation. His striking golden bar was hard to miss, and within minutes, the foundation was complete. Even in his old age, Lao Wang prioritized his health, ensuring that the shelter would provide protection from the harsh sun. Once the foundation was dug, Lao Wang meticulously refined its edges and corners before beginning the construction of the walls. He selected thick wooden sticks, sharpened their ends, and hammered them into the foundation's corners with precision. Strip logs were stacked between the posts like building blocks and secured with vines found in abundance. To keep warm at night, he filled the gaps between logs with moss and reinforced the walls with soil from the foundation excavation. While collecting moss, Lao Wang stumbled upon 2 abandoned iron cans, shabby but valuable treasures in the wild. Ingeniously, he repurposed them into a compact stove for cooking and boiling water. Just as he finished his work, the weather turned unexpectedly, pouring rain over his campsite. Thankfully, his pre-installed tarp provided shelter, allowing him to sip a cup of hot tea in peace. As soon as the rain stopped, he resumed work. He dug pits to place load-bearing columns, ensuring the stability of the structure. Using a hand drill, he carefully drilled holes at each joint and secured wooden bolts. After setting a central log for additional support, he built the roof frame with logs tied together using strong rope. To enhance stability, he reinforced the frame with another layer of logs. Now, it was time to construct the roof. Lao Wang neatly arranged logs, cutting off excess pieces for a perfect fit. With the walls and roof nearly complete, he laid a rainproof cloth as a temporary measure until further enhancements could be made. He then dug a small trench to collect rainwater, ensuring a sustainable water source. The rainy season had gifted the forest with an abundance of fresh mushrooms. Lao Wang gathered a large batch and devised a simple baking tray to dry them for long-term storage. He then built a stone clay stove, carefully layering rocks and clay to create a solid base. Small air holes were carved out to improve ventilation, and the structure was left to dry. While waiting, Lao Wang collected more moss to insulate the roof. This not only provided thermal regulation, but also absorbed rainwater, keeping the shelter dry. He extended the clay stove inward, allowing heat to warm the room safely through the night. As the stove dried, he crafted window frames by embedding wooden sticks in a crisscross pattern for stability and aesthetics. For the door, he took a practical approach. He laid wooden sticks side by side, secured them with rope, and left a small window in the middle for ventilation and security. He filled all gaps with moss and stones to reinforce the structure. The windowsill was also adorned with moss, adding both functionality and a touch of greenery to the otherwise rugged shelter. Fortune smiled upon Lao Wang as he discovered more abandoned iron cans, which he ingeniously linked together to form a chimney. To optimize airflow, he carefully cleared the base of the stove, ensuring a steady supply of oxygen for combustion. As the sun set and his dog's stomach growled, Lao Wang prepared dinner. He skewered fresh mushrooms and meat, roasting them over the charcoal fire. Though simple, the meal was both nutritious and satisfying. He boiled rainwater to ensure its safety before drinking, making full use of his water collection system. As night fell, potential dangers lurked in the shadows. To ensure warmth and security, Lao Wang chopped ample firewood to keep the stove burning through the night. He had even designed a special opening in the gate for his dog, allowing it to keep watch while he slept. Knowing his dog's keen senses would alert him to any threats, Lao Wang finally allowed himself to rest, drifting into sleep beside the warm, crackling stove. Thus, another day ended in Lao Wang's wilderness retreat, his self-sufficient haven growing stronger with each passing moment.